What's up, everyone? Before this video starts, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that originally it was supposed to be 10 minutes, but soon after on stream, the game one I had against a control opponent, I thought highlighted the concepts in this video perfectly, or at least the general statement. So you're gonna get it all this video, a little bit of a commentary, and then kind of some games to follow from stream afterwards. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a little unconventional in terms of how the match ended up, but I mean, hope you like it. Again, it's just the game one, so if you want to catch more of it, catch me live on Twitch. But other than that, hope to see you there. Bye-bye. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Shaf, aka that mill guy, coming at you live from Twitch for a little bit of YouTube content. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on Twitch live to see this happen. So if you ever wanted to see these videos kind of beforehand, see what's going on, maybe some of the previous discussion going into the games, then join me on twitch.tv/that mill guy. Always got to provide the shameless plug because I'm a content creating scrub. So, what is the topic of this video? Well, I hope y'all see the thumbnail and the title of the video. We are talking about how y'all as mill players are not playing enough removal, and it is problematic, okay? So, what do I mean by not enough removal? What do I mean by this? So, if we were to pop into, okay, so the most recent, 5th place, let's start with some context here. So, 5th place, Demir Mill, great kind of great placement here. I'm not, this isn't about this player right here. This is not about them specifically. It's about kind of the thing in general. Oh, we're going to come to scheming symmetry later, folks. So counterspell. Right now, in the modern metagame, there are a lot of high priority turn 1, and technically, we're going to talk about what I mean by technically, turn 2 plays and creatures that really fundamentally need to be answered on the spot, or you will lose the game. I think that is very clear from anyone that has played Modern in the last month, and Ragavan, the Pilfer. Right? That card is super, super problematic if not answered, and that is really the poster child of why we need to be playing more removal. Ultimately, cards like Counterspell don't offer that versatility, which is why we play 4 Drown in the Loch. It offers that flexibility to counter spells late and kill early. Counterspell, unfortunately, is a catch-all. It's better than Drown against hate, but you don't have the ability to kill stuff early, especially in a list like this. Really easily could have been playing a 4th push over something like a Scheming Symmetry, but I still don't like the counter spells. So if we move into maybe the next list, this was a 5-0 Darkness. I don't think Darkness is the way to go. I'm gonna put this out right now. I know all you tip out the red fans out there, all you stands out there, Darkness in it, play the removal. The reason, again, I think this deck list is generally fine, is we are playing at least 3 Fatal Push, and we are playing 4 Drown, so at least Darkness is adding in a sense, not a substitution, but an addition. But again, I would like to see the removal here. I'd actually prefer to see something like Doomblade, or a card we're going to talk about later, called Power Word Kill. One more deck list. We're going to keep things simple. One more deck list here. I want something to highlight. There's one that was I was really not feeling right now. Okay, so this one, again, not anything against this player specifically, but I do not feel like this deck would work in a larger sense in any way, shape, or form if you were to play this competitively. There are only 4 pieces of removal. This is an aggro hyper mill strategy. Obviously, they're playing the Maddening Cacophonies to help with the Jace's Phantasms, but right now, there is a somewhat semi-argument for something like Jace's Phantasm as it's able to positively, in a sense, block something like Dragon Rage Channeler on the low end, and especially on the top end as a 5/5. But this ultimately does not mean anything, because on the low end, it just gets removed by Unholy Heat in a deck playing Ragavan or Darcy. So, what is the point of Jace's Phantasm when you only have 4 Drown in the Locks? Are you just going to throw it out as a chump blocker for it to get removed? Not great. So, why do we need to play more removal? Well, let's hop back into the modern metagame. Let's just go all the way back, because I'm a scrub here. So, it is primarily, is it tempo? Is it tempo? Look at the threats that we need to be answering here. Dragon Rage Channeler, Ragavan, I've gone on and along about them more times than not. If you enter a game in Magic Online or in paper and your opponent reveals Luros of the Dream Den, off the top, you should be prioritizing mulliganing for a piece of removal. Highly prioritizing, or at least at a bare minimum on the low end, a blocker. If you are not doing either one of those, I swear to God, you better have 4 archive traps in your hand, or you need to mulligan. I don't care if you have 3, I don't care if you have 2. You need to hard mulligan that hand unless you have 4. If you have 4, I applaud you. You have achieved the dream, and I would keep that hand as well. I don't blame you. But you need to mulligan for some piece of removal for these turn 1 plays. And then, as I was alluding to, the turn 2 quote-unquote play Murktide Regeant, which can very easily, if you have some crabs out and you fetch, can turn into a turn 2 play for your opponent, in which case you need something like Power Word Kill, which was a card spoiled from Innistrad Midnight Hunt. I won't discuss it in depth. I will allow you to go to the spoilers and to explore it yourself, but that is a card that we can look to in the future as a Doomblade variant. For now, we are looking at cards like Go for the Throat or Doomblade. As we were discussing on stream, I believe that Doomblade is actually the better option here, because ultimately, if you look at the top of the metagame here, if we slice it back, Doomblade and Go for the Throat hit very similar targets against Grixis Luros. Okay, Doomblade doesn't hit the Death Shadow, but it hits the majority of the 1-drops, especially against Hammer Time. One of the problematic things that Go for the Throat doesn't hit is the artifact land with Infect Inkmoth Nexus. So covering all your bases, obviously this is a matchup that something like Tasha's Hideous Laughter really solves, but arguably so does Grixis Luros. So why not just have all your options covered with more removal? Against stuff like Tron or Control, you're already favored because of how you play it out. Strategically extract the Tron lands, or just mill them out with the crabs. Against Control, play stuff like Test of Talents. Against Burn, still a very tough matchup. Against the creature heavy draws, that is ideally have I been saying Power Word Kill? My bad. It's Infernal Grass. My bad. I've been saying, okay, so thank you, Zaza. It's actually Infernal Grass. My bad. I've been saying Power Word Kill. Against Burn, one of the better ways for us to deal with that deck right now is actually for it to go against a creature heavy draw. So where they're going kind of turn 1 Monastery Swiftspear, turn 2 Eidolon, kind of turn 1 Goblin Guide, whatever it is, we're able to remove the creatures with our plethora removal and then Crypt Incursion to turn that around. If they're on a spell heavy draw, that's very tough for a mill deck, and we unfortunately, as a Dimir Color Pie, don't really have a solid answer to a spell heavy draw from Burn. It's just one of our tougher matchups. The best thing I can offer you is some number of Test of Talents on the sideboard to take out multiple copies of cards like Lightning Bolt. And then again, finally, just rounding everything off here, you think of stuff like Orzhov Sternblade or even the Mill Mirror, where you need to remove the Stoneforge Mystic off the top or the crabs on turn 1. So removal is king, and I would really like it if players kind of started moving towards playing full sets of Fatal Pushes, full sets of Drown in the Locks, and supplementing that with some level of Doomblade variance to make sure that the removal is there, so that not only are you able to deal with early drops from stuff like Flamekin Harbinger or Thunderkin Awakener from the Elementals decks, but you're also with stuff like Doomblade able to deal with the high-end threats like Omnath Locus of Creation or even a Risen Reef, where a Fatal Push might not be useful because you don't have a fetch land. Okay, so it's very important that these pieces that are sticking on the board have a lot of high value. That's just where we are at with Modern right now, thanks to Modern Horizons 2. So removal is king. If you can't keep it off the board, if you can't keep it off the stack, if it hits the board, you got to take it away from there before they get too much value out of it. Most of the other matchups where you might think removal might be weak, the mill plan is strong enough. We're thinking Crashing Footfalls, Living End, even Velomachus turns like right here. But where mill will struggle is against the matchups where removal is heavy. So you don't need to do anything fancy. If you're here for a competitive metagame or you're playing on MTGO, whatever it is, something similar to that, you really want removal, as I've outlined here. Counterspell doesn't help you there. It doesn't help with the resolved Ragavan. If you have to top deck a removal spell against a Ragavan, again, it's very simple. Counterspell versus Fatal Push, you always want the Fatal Push. And if you're looking at how you're mulliganing, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if your opponent reveals the Luros of the Dream Den, you really need to make sure that you're prioritizing at a base level a Ruin Crab or a Heathen Crab to chump, or at the top end, a Drown in the Lock or a Fatal Push to make sure that you're able to deal with that turn 1 play. Okay, so a very short video. We're gonna kind of keep it there, or you can do something like fancy and splash colors for removal. Hey, the 3-color discussion is something for another video. I do want to bring it up again. I think I did do a video last year on the case for it and everything. So the 3-color discussion is a bit of a longer discussion, but we'll kind of keep that there. Thank you everyone for watching. For everyone watching on the YouTube sphere here, let me know what you think. What's your removal package? What's your favorite Doomblade variant? Let me know in the comment section down below. We're gonna kind of continue with the stream right here, and check y'all for the next video. Number 2 later. Then we'll go into then we'll just kind of finish off the stream with game 5. All right. So the crab targeting self. Yeah. We got there. I mean, all right. They didn't reveal Luros, but can't go wrong with removal, I guess. It's a weird one for sure. Ragavan Triome? Is this like Jeskai? Jeskai control? If so, not the best hand. Not the best hand. So be it. All right. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I'm doing it. Okay. Worst possible mulligan I could have against a deck like this. Like, mulligan. Worst possible hand I could have against a deck like this. Yeah, it's literally just blue-white control. Ooh, kept the wrong half of my deck. Wrong half of my deck, for sure. This one's gonna be a toughie. A little iffy on this one, not gonna lie. Opponent's got a crap ton of mana. Hard cast Solitude, sure. Okay. Hard cast Solitude. Our hand gonna help at all? Yeah, I mean, right, yeah. Give me a black source. Oh, okay. Oh. Word? Okay. I guess. Like, what else am I supposed to do? That was my turn to drown in the locket, but okay. Wow, they just have infinite value right now. Like, infinite value. Okay. Could have just played the Soul Guide there, but... Oh, okay. Okay, so I need my black source for this. I can't let him have all the infinite value with the Ventress. Obviously would have gone for Ragavan Triome as a good default. But, black source. Soul Guide Lantern. Hit the Prismatic on our side. Nothing in the graveyard seems terribly useful. They could snap into something, but what are they going to do? Snap into Foff? Like, alright. Whatever. It's like counter magic, sure, but I mean, they're ahead in the game anyway. I feel like they're drawing the wrong half of their deck too. Hopefully that continues. Yeah, hopefully that continues. Bang. You like to see it. I think we're just getting lucky here. Yeah, I honestly think we're just getting extremely lucky here. Like, look at it. They're literally just drawing the wrong half of their deck right now. Their deck is flying away with them right now. So I think I might as well resolve the high impact targets, right? Like the high impact spells, sorry, while I can. You know, if they have the, okay, sure, cryptic draw card. All right, whatever. So that was their top deck, because they had the mana to counter the thing. So that was their top deck. So they likely don't have answers outside of that. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they did not cryptic that. The removal spell on the Solitude. Okay. They are literally just drawing lands. We need a deck then. We need to draw like actual like spells here. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Sure. So they're just top decking interaction. That's fine. I'll pull Lurrus in my hand. Go for it. Okay. Got all the lands upon you. Got all the lands in the world. How do we break this right now? How do we break this matchup right now? Like this standstill that we have. How do we break this up? Let's work on that together. Let's play this. Bait out the counterspell. That's fine. They are smart. They will use it on something else. Alright, giving us all the value in the world. So in this case, Soul Guide will enter. It will hit Factor Fiction, sorry. So now that we're ahead of the game, now I actually want to deal with the cards that, like the spells that draw them stuff. Their counter magic is whatever, right? Because generally, if I don't, like, from here, if I don't really cast lot, it's whatever. What? What is all this mana? Oh. Okay. Okay, that's gonna die right now. Sorry, before you draw a card. Yeah, sorry, before you draw a card. A target for push. There it is. Oh, that's glory. That's actual glory. That's great. That was a win in my books. That was a win in my books. God damn. God damn. All right, whatever. It's fine. Nice top deck. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's a card. Oh, that's a card. Okay. Probably like these two or whatever. Oh, okay. Okay. Works for me. Okay. Oh, this is just like straight up chalice control. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, so the cards that draw them, the stuff that draws them spells. Take that out. Ultimately here, my goal with Soul Guide is just to draw cards, so obviously they can infinitely tuck to Fairy, but at some point, if that's their game plan, I should be able to beat it if they have no threats. So we're just playing a long game here. We've lost our Luros, but we haven't lost many resources outside of that, to be fair. We still have 2 Tashas, 2 Fractured, all of our crabs, along with, you know, obviously an Aboro on the battlefield, so that's fine. You're gonna untap that. Are you gonna create a giant shark now? Like, what are you gonna do with all that mana? What you gonna do with all that inside you? What are you gonna do with all that? What are you gonna do with all that? Yeah, this is great. Big fan of this. Big fan. Especially because now they're like, oh, I have counter magic for this. Look at me. I am so smart. I am such a smart cookie. Look at me. I have all of the answers to your spells. Oh my lord. I don't even know. All right. Sure. This is why you need to play more removal in Modern Mill. I mean, hey. I mean, hey. All right, draw a card. Draw your cards. Draw yourself out of this deck. Draw yourself out of everything. Okay. That's slightly problematic. Slightly. Ever so slightly problematic. Genuinely. That is literally ever so slightly problematic. Okay. Well, I might as well throw this out. I actually should have just hit myself, to be fair. I think I gained more life. Because they only have a Solitude. Yeah, that was a mistake. I actually should have just hit myself. Yeah, I didn't think that one through. I should have just hit myself. Because I'm not bringing my Luros back, so... Ooh, misplay. Misplay. That's fine. Tough. Yep. So this is where stuff like that matters. Yeah, for sure. So they're gonna get in for 3. I can't do anything. Yep. So it's Doomblade or nothing here, which kind of sucks. Again, really wish I hit myself with that crypt. That's if I lose this game, that's the misplay that does it, because I could be at definitely 6 more life than I should be. That's fair too. I could have cycled it. Like they should be at 2 cards right now. That's fair too. That's fair too. I guess like my thought into that was, to be fair, if they didn't have it, then I won, right? Like that's what it was, right? If they didn't have it, I won. And then if they had the counterspell, that's one less counterspell they have for whatever threats that they have left in the deck, because they're not conceding. They're still playing through their threats. So one way to look at it was like, yeah, like I could have cycled, not done that. But I was like, in my mind, I was getting there pretty much regardless, I would say. Because now, like, if they don't have an answer to Solitude, I can just try and draw into Drown or something. I actually think the crucial misplay was genuinely not crypting myself, giving myself enough life. Sure. Even turn in 2 pushes. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. For sure. Brutal. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, I got turns. Whew. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. There you go. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? What do you got? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, there's not much I'm doing with that, but like, it's something. If they play a Solitude, like, it's like, okay, I got something, right? I can't exactly like interact thanks to the Teferi. So if they cast a spell in response to something I'm doing, I can't do much. But oh well, something. So they could just be Teferi tucking me as much as they want here. Okay. Sure. What are the 2 cards left in your library? What are the 2 cards left in your library? If there's a Shark Typhoon left, I'm just done. I'm actually just done. But, let's see here. Okay, so they're tucking themselves back in. That's fine. Okay, so let's bait it. So I don't lose to Solitude, which is fine. I lose to Shark Typhoon. What do you got? The Teferi I can beat. I can so arguably, I mean, not necessarily. I could just mill them. Like I'm not concerned with Teferi because they should have like 1 piece of interaction and they should have a Shark Typhoon, right? That's what this is exactly. So ultimately, I don't lose to Teferi. I have the mill to beat Teferi. That's not my problem. My problem is exactly this. Look, they're gonna Shark Typhoon here. That's fine. So now I will be removing the 1 piece of 1 threat left in their deck. So their Shark Typhoons are gone. So what else do they have left? They have 2 Archmage's Charm, Prismatic Ending, Supreme Verdict. Yeah, exactly, right? Like we actually cannot lose in this state at this point. I don't believe we can. So we cast this here. Oh, undo. We cast this here. Yeah, so they have no more threats. They have 0 threats. We have 24 cards to come up with a threat. We have more. We have enough. Sure. You're done. Play more removal. Play more goddamn removal. Come on. I'm adding this 1 game to the video. I'm actually adding this 1 game to the video. Oh my god. Even against control. I'm adding this 1 game to the video. Wow. Yeah. Play more removal. Play more removal. We got there. I'm adding